see who's on the screen right now because a couple of you saying hi through the chatting screen. Nasia, thank you so much for joining me all the way from Pakistan. I miss you so much. And Paul, I don't know that we met, but thank you so much for enjoying my class and appreciate what I have to offer. What an honor. Since I kind of know a little bit about you guys and ladies, and allow me to offer maybe, hopefully, if I don't forget, when I flow into my sequence, I prepare your body to get into a certain poses. And since one of you asking about the inversion and the headstand, and I know that one of you also enjoy a challenging poses, I will take you there today safely, the best I can. But be careful to be safe in the practice yourself. We're gonna try headstand today, and if you know that your headstand is not something that you can rely on a free space like this, maybe prop your mat against the wall to help you to feel a little bit more confident in the practice. That would be great. Anyway, let me start the class with, sorry, drinking tea and reading book to you. I found this book. It's called Spoon for my daughter. She's 3 years old, and oh my God, what a wisdom that has been put into this book for kids out there. And I highly suggest this book for if you have any, kids or nieces and nephews. It's a very beautiful wisdom to let them have it right now in their lives to move forward with growing up and being in the environment that asks them to be less than who they are, so they can be really true to who he or she is. So here we go. Let me go through it quickly. This is Spoon, and this is a Spoon family. On Sunday, Spoon goes to visit his Aunt Silver. He has to be on his very best behavior there because she is very fancy and proper. At bedtime, Spoon likes to hear the story about his adventurous great-grandmother who fell in love with a ditch and ran off to a distant land. Lately, though, Spoon had been feeling blue. "What's wrong?" asked his mother. "You look a bit out of shape." "Nothing," mumbled Spoon. "It's just that, I don't know, Mom. All my friends have it so much better than me. Like Knife. Knife is so lucky. He gets to cut. He gets to spread. I never get to cut or spread ever." And his mother said, "Yes, Knife is pretty spiffy that way, isn't he?" And Fork is so lucky. She gets to go practically everywhere. I bet she never goes stir crazy like I do. And his mother said, "Yeah, Fork does get out and make herself useful, doesn't she?" And Chopsticks, Mom, they are so lucky. Everyone thinks they're really cool and exotic. No one thinks I am cool or exotic ever. "Oh yeah, that Chopstick is something else, aren't they?" mumbled his mother. I added some word into it. And meanwhile, if only Spoon knew what his friends were saying at that very moment. "Spoon is so lucky," said Knife. "He's so fun and easygoing. Everyone's so serious with me, and no one's ever allowed to be silly with me like they are with Spoon." "And then Spoon is so lucky," said Fork. "He gets to measure stuff, and no one ever does that with me." Then come Chopsticks. "Spoon is so lucky. He can go places by himself. We could never function apart." So I'm going to stop right there. Sorry if you want to listen to the whole thing, maybe get this book or rent it, okay? So my point is this. I feel like our society, most of the time, we are put into that mentality that grass is always greener on the other side, right? It's never ours. And this is not a way to live our lives. We cannot compare our unique ability, our extraordinary with other. We are not born to have that. What we are born to have each and everything in this body, in this mind, in this spirit, and each and every day is our job to nurture, to enrich, and to enhance our extraordinary, unique self. That is my wise pep talk to you today. I know it has been long already, so please close your eyes. With the breath, expanding your lungs and diaphragm, allow that space within, make you feel big, make you feel grand, make you feel you belong in this earth. Make you feel proud, make you feel empowered. And know that you are never less than or greater than any other human beings, because we are the same. We are human. We have flaws, we have talents, we have both. But when we compare our weakness to somebody else's strength, we will never feel that we are good enough, strong enough, beautiful enough, wealthy enough, healthy enough. And that should not be our each and every day job to practice. When you breathe in, let that heart open, feel the softness inside of yourself, and just dive into who you are fully. Love your big smiles, embrace this body. Good or bad is ours. It's ours to enhance, it's ours to nurture, it's ours to make it the best it can be. And you have all of the power within yourself to make that happen. May this practice today on your mat is full with empowering, is full with love, is full with respect. It's full with nurturing yourself and yourself alone. With that in mind, you join your hands together right in front of your heart. And let's chant Om 3 times. Together, please. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. And another deep inhale, please. And you bow your head toward your heart. Release your hands, lift your chins, open your eyes. Your warm up today will be on your feet. So mindfully, come up, standing, and let's warming up a little bit, please. Now, if you have been practicing yoga for a while or exercise for a while, you know yourself very well. You can warm up however you want it. I will respect your choices. But make sure you get to your wrist because we use them a lot. Ankle, neck, shoulder, body, hips. We're going to go through that. So I'm just checking my wrist and my ankle right now. It's so hard to work on the ankle when you're standing up. I love being like on my back and do that. Hi, Jaya. Then roll your shoulders up and back. I feel like this story made me feel like that feeling of oops, and I'm ready to put my head down and kick my leg up into the ceiling. Go to the other direction. Your neck. Please, one thing that I want you to be really mindful when you're on your feet is keep them parallel toward one another, no matter which part of the body you move, okay? Taya, are you brushing your teeth yet? Q? No? Are you ready to run? You're ready to run? You don't need to wear long pants. Okay. All right, sounds fun. Like with your neck, you can circle, you look side to side, you tilted your head. That's another option. You can do all of that. Right. And also when you stand by moving your hip back a little bit and you're not pushing your hip forward, because that will protect your lower back from getting hurt. Okay. I don't have a lot of stiffness in the body today. I'm going to twisting my body side to side here. The more stiff you are in the morning, the more warming up you should do within your body. Today I don't really feel much. I feel I can move, but that doesn't mean it's the same as your body right now. So just keep warming up, okay? Yeah. Then we go from here into the hips. If you still want to work on your neck, shoulder, and the body, please do that. And join me into the hip stretch when you're ready. We go into a skandasana, so your heels in and your toes out. Like you kind of start from high to low, so you get into kind of goddess movement first, right? And just go as low as your hip allowing you to do, and use this movement to kind of open up the body part a little bit. And just right there. I can feel my hip and my legs much tighter. And really breathe deep. And we go into Pasarita Padottanasana, which means you make your feet parallel. Hug your shins in, push your thighs apart. And your body dangling down to the floor. My body really, and now I can really feel my back. This is good. Dangling the body side to side. I know this is one thing my body really craves when I can really dangle my upper body and move it. It really my neck and shoulders. That is where the tension is carrying in my body most. The second place is hips. If you in this space and you can hang low, you can move your hands to the left or the right, whichever direction you go first, and you can push the floor away from you and really stretch the opposite sides of the body. When you do that, you just play around with where your weights go in your feet. You can just transitioning the weight mindfully. Right. Feel your body through your stretching. Know that I don't want you to be static in the pose. That is not going to allow you to really get to know your body very well. A little shifting, moving here and there will help you to know where your body needs most in that pose. You can hang your head really low and just shake, 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 shake it. Now here, the other thing you can do to add a little bit more intensity into the stretching is, let's say you use your left hand first and you walk to the right. The further away from the foot, the easier it's going to be, which means the closer to the foot, the tighter and the harder of the stretch it's going to be, so that you can adjust. And then your right hand, you thread in between your left foot and your left hand, and you pretty much do thread the needle on your feet. So you thread your right hand into your left foot and you can hold your left foot there. Then it's going to be a matter between how you're going to move these two hands away from one another. So as I said earlier, if you move your left hand closer to your right foot, the twisting feeling is going to be so much intense. And then it's a matter of using exhalation and you pull your elbows apart. Yeah. And you have to adjust your left hand accordingly to how tight you are in the body. And then you stay in that twisting and use the exhale to twist. And then stay probably there 3 to 5 breaths, as much as you can handle it. This is really, really tense. Okay, switch side. Right. You can hang low, hold the back of the head, and really pull your neck nice and long. I'm so sorry that I make this warm-up feel such a free form, because I just feel like I trust you to really move your body here. It's just not, I don't need a lot of detail for you to warm up, When we get into the pose and get into a deeper stretch, then I will take care of you better. So having said that, let's turn to the front of the mat. Diagonal your right foot to the right. And land on the little toe side edge of the foot, okay? Open the soles of your right foot. Knee also opening to the right. You're gonna get into the lateral sides of your right leg and hips here. Now, your left leg right here, you can keep your knees bent and place it on the floor, or straight the leg if you have the strength and your body can take that much force right now. Inhale, you breathe and puff your back up to the sky. When you exhale, you elongate your spine and get your chest down toward that foot. Please don't move your hip toward the foot. That is not the feeling of the stretch that I want you to feel. Here we go. Now we are talking. Spread your right toes enough that you feel that your legs are engaged. Don't overdo it. Relax your neck and shoulder. And don't grip your jaw. One more breath here. Inhale, you move your chest up and away from the stretch. We're gonna go into our runner stretch a little bit. You are straight your right leg now, hip square, spine extend forward, and you are bowed down toward that right leg. Okay, yeah, that's good. And breathe. And you face your body with an open heart. Respect and love whatever it is. Remember, your unique self, your unique body is your, to learn to respect it. Inhale, come up and away from the floor. We are going to drag the right foot in enough that we can balance on the ball of the foot, the soles of the foot. And then you're transitioning your weight forward. Kick your left leg up to the sky. Oh, wow. And exhale, cross your left leg behind your right leg and bow down. Inhale. Exhale, send your heart as low as it can go. We are hitting the lateral sides of the hip right now, everybody. Inhale, come up and away from the floor. Bend your knees, step your left leg back, and you pivot to the left, go all the way to the back of the mat, and we hit the other legs, okay? Diagonal, your left foot to the left, knees bend, opening it to the left. Hips back, chest forward. Either your right knee on the floor or off the floor. Each exhale, we're sending our heart down toward the floor. Remember to move your body like a jellyfish, that you kind of move away from the stretch when you inhale, and exhale, move into the stretch sensation and intensify that stretch safely. Relax your jaw. And inhale, move up and away from the stretch. Runner stretch. Left leg straight, heels down, toes up, hips square toward the front edge of the mat. Elongate the spine at all times. Each exhale is your stretch. Allow your trunk to move downward and also elongate forward. Inhale, move up and away from the floor. Drag your left foot in. Ground it to the floor. Transitioning your weight forward. Standing split. Kick your right leg up toward the sky. Hang your body low and exhale. Cross your right leg behind your left leg and bow down. Please, if you still need your hands on the floor, keep them there. If it's not, today I would like you to interlace your hands behind your back. Draw your shoulder blades toward one another and bring your arms over your head. The reason I picked this version for your hands, because one thing that needed greatly in headstand is the heart opening. And this action will help us stretch those muscles. And we need to stretch them often enough before we get into the pose. Carefully get your hands to the floor. If you lift them off the ground, knees bend, step your right leg back, pivot to the right all the way to the front of the mat, and we go into downward facing dog, please. Take this time to stretch your body in downward facing dogs for a little bit. Sway the hips side to side, or you know what, I should really kind of guide you to do the chest opening here. So why don't we do either sway the hip side to side or both, and or pedal you need. Do the bottom half of the pose first. Okay. And then right here, stop moving your hips and your leg. Keep your knees bent if you're really tight, okay? Or if you're not, you can straighten the leg completely. Now let's work the upper body. Bend your elbows slightly to the side. Inhale, draw your armpit up and away from the floor. Let them draw toward one another onto your back, and exhale, push the floor away and send that chest to your feet. One more time. Bend the elbow, inhale, lift your armpits up and away from the floor and together. Exhale, push the floor away and stretch your arm while your chest moves toward your feet. Two more. Neck nice and long. Elbow bent, armpits up and away from the floor and together. And exhale, push the floor away from you. And plank pose. Inhale, down dog. Exhale. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Get your knees to the floor. Balance on the right side of your body. Right hand, right knee. Kick your left leg back. Left arm up to the sky. Bring it over the head. Exhale, turn toward the floor. Chest facing forward. Step your left leg forward and to the left. Get your right knees off the floor. We go into a humble warrior. You are going to interlace the hands behind the back. Draw your shoulder blades toward one another. Exhale, bow down to the ground. If this is too much, of course you can have your right knees on the floor, right? And then bow. From here to pyramid pose, so hands come down to the floor. We are going to straighten both legs, and your stance is going to be a little bit shorter. Hips square toward the front of the mat, and you bow down toward the ground. I would love you to work the foundation of the pose first, which means your feet and your leg. Make sure you're solid and strong. Hug the legs toward the midline of the body. And then slowly maybe see if your hands can come off the floor or not. If it's not, don't worry about it. Stability first. If you can get them off and you feel strong, once again, I would love you to interlace the hand behind the back, okay? And if you wobble and you need to come out and touch the floor, you can go back and forward as well. It's not a big deal. And slowly bend that front knee, step your right leg back further. Get your right knee to the floor. Come upright with your trunk. Lunge forward a little bit so you can bend that right knee so the foot come off the floor. Hold the foot with the hand, square the hip, root your tailbone down, lift your heart high, and breathe. We stretch the hip flexor on the right. We're strengthening the core and that QL of the body to kind of balance the upper body. We opening the heart. Don't forget the neck. Yeah. The hip flexor stretch and the hamstring stretch are, I'm feeling tired, also necessary in our headstand as well. It's going to help us make that kicking feeling much lighter if they open enough. And exhale, we go to the floor. Three-legged dog, hands down. Kick your left leg back and up, opening the hips, bend the knee. Now, draw your shoulder blades toward one another on your back first. That action is so important. Before you use the exhalation to push the floor away from you with your hands and send your heart backward to the feet. Then you can look underneath your left arms, of course. Make sure that you feel that your shoulder blades are square. You just have to go with the sensation because it's behind your eye. You cannot see them. Extend your left leg straight, square the hip, come forward to plank, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. 4 more, please. Three more. I would love to warm up your wrists a little bit more before we really challenging them. And 2. Last one. And you come down to your knees. Now balance on your left side. Turn your heart open to the right side of your house. And then elongate the right side of your body. Push the weight back. Elongate away from that. And exhale, we go toward the floor and forward. Step your right leg forward and to the right. Back leg straight or not. Maybe it's better to come off from the knee first. If you like it feel more solid here, interlace the hand behind the back and bow down. And then you can go back down to the knees. Please, if you're not stable enough and you don't feel safe, don't interlace the hand. Have your hands on the floor and do lizard pose instead of humble warrior. I want you to be safe first, then like challenging yourself just because you want to do headstand today. The principle of the practice is always respect and love yourself, not the other way around. And inhale, we move up and away from the stretch. Go into the pyramid pose. You use your hand to help you move into the pose safely. Adjust the stand, right foot go forward, left foot point to 11 o'clock, hip square, hug your thighs toward one another, course in, elongate the spine, and you can slowly get your hands off the floor if you can. If you can interlace the hand behind the back, that is the place I want you to go. But if it's not safe, we will stretch that. Get our heart to open elsewhere. This is not going to be the last thing you will get to open in your heart. So not to worry. And carefully come away from the stretch. Bend your right knee, step your left leg further back. Get your left knees on the floor. Please paddle that knee as much as you need. Come upright. Lunge away. Hold the foot with the hands. Hip square. Roll your tailbone down. Lift the heart. As you can see, my chest is really open. I really need this action on your upper body, okay? That your heart is opening forward and upward. Your ribs, don't go there. Just go in and together, and you're going to feel you're going to fall backward because your hamstrings are challenging you right now. Yeah. Don't forget the neck aligned with the rest of the spine. When you have these in the place, then you can hold the pose and use the exhale to lunge. You're not going to move the rib, you're not going to move the body, you're just going to bend that front knee to take you forward. It's really intense. One more breath here. And then let go. Three-legged dog. Kick your right leg back and up. Opening the hips, bend the knee, and kick it to the left. And then push your chest through. Go to the foot. Extend the leg, square the hip, come forward to plank. Inhale. Lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Get your shoulder blades on your back. Go to the floor. Locust pose with your hand interlace behind the back, please. Once again, draw your shoulder blades up and away from the floor and together. We need that action. And then you extend your hands back and up and then lift your leg. Let the body float and breathe. Allow the body to move with the breath. Once again, do your jellyfish action. We flow with the breath. Is the energy. We should not be static ever. Relax your jaw. 2 more breaths. Last one. And come down to the floor. I am going to intensify the pec major muscles a little bit more. So extend your left hand to the left. Keep your head on the floor and turn your body open to the right side of the house. Okay. The more your chest is opening up toward the ceiling, or even feel like it can go backward, the more stretch you're going to feel it on your left shoulder, your left pec major, which is in the front of your chest. So you can control that opening and do it safely. Maximize the stretch, but don't hurt yourself. Okay. Other side, please. I need to move my receiver away from the hip for that one. Oh, yeah. Please don't lift your neck off the floor. I don't want you to have to work on the neck muscles right now. We don't get anything out from straighten the neck in this pose. We stretch the right shoulders, the right pec major. And exhale, roll down onto your belly and your chest. And please stay on your belly for the moment. I'm going to challenging your core while we are here. Interlace your hands and have your elbow underneath your shoulders. And you come up to your forearm plank, please. The mid back is needed to be strong in our headstand, so we need to strengthen it a little bit. So you take your forearm plank and then lift your right knees off the floor and exhale, go into your right elbow. And then go back and switch and switch. 3, 4, 5, 6. Go as close as to your elbow the best you can. 8, 9. 2 more. Come down to your knee. Go back toward your heel. Take child's pose. Inhale, come up and away from the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right leg forward between the hands. Warrior 1. Come up with your hand interlace behind your back, please. Ribs is in. Spine is long. Shoulder blades is together. Neck is aligned with the rest of your spine. Lunge as deep as you can each exhale. And elongate your spine upward as much as you can each inhale. Feel your lower back. Release the hands, warrior 2. see my body is moving. I want you to move like a jellyfish, like that reverse warrior. And three-legged dog, hands down, kick your right leg back and up. Inhale. Right knee to the nose, round your back up. Kick it back and up, inhale. 2 more, knee to the nose. Kick it back and up. Last one. Kick it back and up. Come forward to plank, inhale. Chaturanga Dandasana, exhale. Now you can take your cobra. You can do low, you can do middle, you can do high. Take your time to really work in the heart opening here. It's not just the lifting, it's the opening also essential in the pose. Okay, it doesn't matter how high or how low you are. The more open you can get out from the height with the safety in the lower back is better. Don't forget the last piece is your neck. It needs to align with the rest of the spine here. And downward facing dog. Then left leg forward between the hands, inhale. Warrior one. Once again, I want your hand to interlace behind the back. Okay. Really lift your armpits up, draw them back, and really get the heart to open forward. Okay. Remember that your ribs are in and back, so your core is engaged. And the rest of the spine elongate up. So you move with the breath in this pose. You're gonna get a better opening from it. It's really intense, I have to say, yeah. When you have the target or the apex pose ahead, warrior two. It's not just the flow, you really need to make it a little bit more intense. Reverse warrior. And hands come down to the floor. Kick your left leg back and up. Inhale. Three-legged dog. Knee to the nose. Round the back up to the sky. Kick it back and up. Inhale. Knee to the nose. Kick it back and up. Three-legged dog. Last one. Three-legged plank. Kick it back and up. Three-legged dog. Come forward to plank. You can lift the left leg if you want to. You don't have to. Chaturanga Dandasana. Cobra. Up dog, locust, doesn't matter. What matters is you pick the best choice for your body. And downward facing dog. And breathe. Come back to that story again. You know, it's not about looking to the greener grass elsewhere. But see that greenness within yourself. You have them. You just have to appreciate them instead of looking away from your body. Come down to your knees. Once again, I'm going to intensify the body part that needed for the headstand. So we're going to go into Dolphin Pose. If you have block, I would love to see you have them between the palm. And have your palm facing one another. And you get your elbow down. And have your forearms parallel toward one another. If you don't have it, you can interlace the hands or just have your hands in place or make the fists and let them touch. If you don't want to kind of, pushing the weight from one finger to the other, sometimes some people don't like that feeling, it hurts. And everything else is the same action as downward facing dog. Dolphin pose is much more intense in terms of stretching all of the same part that we do in downward facing dog. Okay. So tuck the toes, knees off the floor. And you can do one and the other or both at the same times. So one or the other is mean that you can kind of get the hamstrings and calf muscle to be stretched, because those muscles are also important. And then the other is to work the chest, to push your chest back toward the feet each exhale. And use the inhalation to draw your armpit up and away from the floor and together, right? or you put both of them and do them at the same times, and you're going to make this pose so much more intense. But if your body have enough opening and strength, of course you can manage that. Couple more breaths here. And carefully, we're going to go to forearm plank once again. Okay. Let's say if you don't have the block, you're here. Now we're going to stay in forearm plank, and we're going to turn ourselves sideways into forearm side plank. And you're going to turn to the right forearms. Little toe side edge to your right foot first. So we target this part of the body, the upper body strength. We're not going to be here long. And when you exhale, you turn toward the floor and use your left hand to help you. When you finish flipping, get your right knee down, step your left leg forward, and you come off from your right forearms. Get your left hand, turn your body up to the sky, and you twist it toward the left. Bend your right knee, hold your right foot with your left hand. Got twisted monkey here. And then exhale, lunge toward that left knee, and then opening your heart up to the sky. Yeah. And let go. Untwist and have your left hand on the floor. Heel toe your left foot in. Get your right foot to the floor. Get your right knees off the ground. Now carefully, you're going to walk your hand back toward your right foot. Back, 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 back. And you move the weight from your left leg toward your right leg. Okay. And bend your right knee, straight your left leg, and you walk your hand back. So you go into a skandasana, and you try to go as deep as to the floor as you can. So you walk toward your right foot, straight your left leg, and move your hips back. Yeah. I know this is very weird. It's a weird move. So get into the groin area of the body and carefully move back forward. So shift the weight forward toward your left leg once again. And get into your lizard pose and go as deep as you can. Carefully move away from that stretch, hands down, kick your left leg back and up to the sky, opening the hips, bend the knee, kick it to the right. And then one more breath here. Extend your left leg back out to straight, square the hip to the floor. Shift your weight toward your left hand and get your right hands off the ground. Here we go. Mid-back, mid-body strengthening, and then push your weight back, and also, of course, your left upper arms strengthening here, and push your weight back, 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 back. Here we go, here we go. Right hand come down to the floor, step your left leg forward. Parivrtta Passavakonasana, twist to the left. Hands in prayer, core engage, and then you twist. Remember, your right knee can come down to the floor. Breathe. Untwist, hands down. Kick your left leg back and up, inhale. Left knee to the nose, round your back up to the sky. Kick it back and up. Left knee to your left armpit. Exhale, come forward. Kick it back and up. Left knee to your right armpit. Exhale. Inhale, kick it back and up. And then go to your right armpit again. Twist your body. Kick it back and up. Last one. And then shoot your left leg to the right. Land it onto the foot. Get your right arms off the floor. Push the floor away with your left hand. And get your right arms up toward the ceiling. Or extend it alongside the ears, push the weight toward the foot. Like, don't let the wrist carry the weight too much. And then carefully twist back to the floor. Lift your left leg off the floor. Back to downward facing dog. Come forward to planks. Inhale. Your floor is here, or you can rest in child's pose, please. Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog or cobra. And downward facing dog or child's pose, please. Breathe. Do what you can and respect whatever your body can do and willing to do and work its way to be much more stronger or more open in the future. You walk forward into your forearm plank pose. And then we do the other side, forearm side plank to the left. You can lift your right arms up or extend it alongside the ears. That's a space for you to be created. And exhale, we go toward the floor. Use your right hand to help you. You get your left knee down so you have the foundation. And then push yourself off from the floor and step your right leg forward and diagonal, the foot to the right. Adjust the foundation, make it as wide as you want to, and you twist. Use your right hand, bend your left knee, get the foot into the hip, and you twist to the right while your heart is opening, and you try to bring the foot toward the hips. Please do this pose without pushing your hip forward. I want you to actually bring your hip backward toward the foot, and you extend your heart up to the sky, okay? And exhale, untwist. Now the next move is we go Skandasana, and we move to the back leg. If you need blocks, use them. So you get your left knee off the floor, okay? And then you shift from your right leg, push your weight back toward your left foot, and you point your left foot kind of 90 degrees, or see what's work for your joints, and then you go and you sit down into an opening leg as wide as you can, and make your right leg straight. Okay. While you do this, move your hip back and apart. So your hips not go to the floor completely, it point a little bit more to the back. And you feel the broaden of your own hips here. And carefully, core strong, push it down to your left foot. Transfer your weight back forward toward your right. And you point your right leg forward, diagonal your body to the left. Your left toe is going to 10 o'clock. Like you can do lizard pose right here. If you can go under, you go. And carefully, you move away from that stretch. Hands come down. Kick your right leg back and up, opening the hips, bend the knee, opening that hips a little bit, and then kick it to the left. Feel the hips open. Weights go back. And then stretch your right leg back out, hips square. Weight toward your right foot, get your left hands off the floor. Remember to push your weight back toward the foot. Your wrist should not carry the weight as much as your foot and the legs. Build the stability. Do the best you can. And then carefully come forward. Step your right leg forward, and we are twisting to the right. Parivritta Patsavakonasana. I know it's really intense. Heart open. Belly go to the floor, heart go to the sky. Find the balance between the two actions. And carefully you untwist, hands come down to the floor. Right leg kicks back and up, inhale. Right knee to the nose, round your back up, exhale. Variation of plank, kick it back and up, inhale, three-legged dog. Go right knee to your right armpit, exhale. Kick it back and up, inhale. Go to the opposite side, exhale. Kick it back and up. One more time. And the last one. Shoot your right leg to the left. Land on the little toe side edge of the foot. Weight on your right leg. Turn your body opening. Push your weight back. Left arm up to the sky. Or alongside the ear. And carefully drag that right foot in. Square your chest to the floor. Go to downward facing dog. Rest in child's pose or flow one more time before you choose to rest and breathe. Or take a sip of tea or water. Wow, that's a lot of work. Next, you can do one or the other. You can do Ekapada Bikasana. So hip flexor. Hip flexor is important. Right here, stretch your hip flexor. Or you can go into Ekapada Virasana. One leg hero pose. Hip flexor as well. This one is more intense and the more strain on the joint. The tighter you are, the more strain is going to happen to the joint. So pick the right pose. I don't want it to be strained. I want it to be, open. You have to challenge your muscle wisely. Ekapada Virasana is right here. Same stretch. You get into the hip flexor. Now, any one of you who can go more intense, so you do whatever leg first. You go into Virasana and you use a strap or use your own hand to the opposite leg. Pull it toward the chest and then kick it up to the sky and you're going to feel it. Now, why that's happening? The left side, right now I'm stretching the left leg. You have to feel the elongation from your knees out and away from the body. And the crown is also extend away from the body. So our bodies feel long while we're stretching the muscles. Core is engaged, draw in and back or in and up if your belly is facing the floor. Carefully switch side, please. And carefully, just move away from the stretch. If you're on your belly, you can carefully get yourself back up and away from the floor and rest in child's pose. If you're on your back, then you can get your knee toward the chest and rock your knee side to side right now. And get yourself up to a seated position, and with that much opening and strengthening and opening again. I'm like thinking about the body part while I'm saying that, but don't get to say the body part to you. Let's see how far you can get yourself into the headstand. Now, we're not going to kick the legs up yet, but we're going to feel the foundation of the headstand. Sirsasana 1 and Sirsasana 2. So we do the one first, the one that you interlace the hands and you put it behind the back of the head. Now, once again, if you don't want to interlace the hands and feel the pressure from one finger on top of one another, you don't really have to, okay? You can just do that or do that. Your elbows is right underneath the shoulders, and you have to place your head right when you bring your head down to the floor. Sirsasana 1 feel firmer, feel more empowering because you have like a bigger part of the body supporting the foundations. But the thing is, it doesn't allow the flexibility of the opening of the heart much. Please know that when your head is on the floor, you should feel, if you're looking at me right now, like you are sitting nice and tall and your chin is lifted slightly like that, okay? The point on your head, where people always ask, where is it exactly that my head should be on the floor? It's really tough to tell you because our heads, it doesn't form the same from one to the other. But the key important is that you should feel elongation. You should keep that will make your curve stay in the neutral position possible. Even you kind of look down a little bit, I don't feel like it's the place for it. You should look up slightly. Man, by saying that, I don't even feel comfortable with it. I said it many times in the practice today. Our elongation of our neck is also depend upon the rest of the spine, like clavicle is a part of the spine. So the more you're opening in the heart, the more of the opening in the neck you have to create. However, it's not about chin to the chest, and it's not about collapsing your head back. It's about finding elongation of the spine. So here we go. Just build the foundation first. Okay, so you interlace elbow underneath the shoulders. When you press your head down, when your knees is on the floor, it's hard to really move your neck. You just have to put your head down for now, and then when you tuck your toes, get your knees off the floor, you can adjust your heads a little bit. And I don't want you to kind of kick up yet. You can just do right here and bend your knee really deep and get it toward the elbow as much as you can. And that when you start to feel the pressure go more into the neck, and you have to build that neck. Like, okay, where is it? And you can see I can talk pretty well. You can hear my voice is not changed, so I can feel the flow of the energy is go through my neck safely, right? Press your elbow down and you breathe. Feel how it feels, what it feels like into the body. Yeah. I cannot draw my shoulder blades back so much, and slowly come out from that foundation first. It's really restricted, but it's really firm to the floor. These actions right here, like I'm gonna cut my arms, so you should be able to move your shoulder blades back like that in the headstand. And it's really hard to do that when you have your hands like this. But when we go into Sirsasana 2, headstand number 2, which is you do tripod headstand when your hands is in front of you and your head is kind of away from the hands, you can move your armpit and your shoulder blade much easier. However, your foundation is less stable because it's less point of the body is on the floor, and you have to rely on the core a little bit more. So it feels a little bit more scary for some people if they don't have a strong mid part of the body, right? To kick up into headstand when you have such an opening heart, In Sirsasana, two is much easier. But that heart opening is required. So I want you to go into Sirsasana 2. Don't kick the legs up yet. Just fire the neck. Let the heart open, and just tilt your hip forward as far as you can. So here we go. Once again, when you place your head down while your knees is on the floor, you are not yet able to really move your neck in a safe place. I know that because I have done it so many times. When you get the knees off the floor, that's when you can really move your neck, like your chin can move away from the chest or move toward the chest easier. Yeah. Find that elongation of your neck there. Right here, you draw your shoulder blades back. Your elbow should point up toward the sky. And you really press your head down to the floor and walk your leg in, and bend your knee and get your knee toward your elbow. And wow, the pressure is going to the head. It's just really, really great. Right? Feel the elongation go to the floor. And come away from it. See that? So headstand, you should not, like the more the weight going to the head, the more elongation you should create. So you should not make your head go like that, like a turtle. It's just not good for it. Okay. Please watch me quickly. I used to do headstand by kicking the leg up, and I have to say that will get your leg up off the floor quicker, but that is also will make yourself hurt yourself quicker if your foundation is not properly setting up. And I don't like that nowadays. I like more when I feel really firm on the foundation. I feel really opening in the heart. My leg is opening, my core is ready, and it takes me to the pose lighter and more. It just feels light. It should feel light. That's what it is. So watch me first. I'm going to show you both. I'm not going to get my leg up straight, I hope. Let's see. See that when I have an opening, I walk, head pressing down. Wait. You should get up. Get your knees bent right there and really tilt your head, hip back. Right there, headstand. You see how light that is? You should feel really light when you're transitioning your hip forward. That is actually, it's not easy to transitioning the weight backward. Or Sirsasana 2, right? Opening heart, you can transfer the hip over the head much easier. Yeah, I can feel that already. And then the leg come off the floor, right there. Headstand. For now. So that lightness of the body come off the floor should come after your foundation is properly set up. It's not just head down, kick the leg, head down, kick the leg, head down, kick the leg, and you are never really align your body ever. Okay? Let's do it. Pick one, fire the wall, try to go up that way, and then we're going to move on after that. If you can go off the floor very easily, the next challenge is pretty much, of course, your core. You just have to find the core. Your leg is going to move back and forth, and you just have to find the balance of the pose. That's pretty much it. Sorry for talking too much. This video always feels more like a workshop to me now instead of exercising. And when you're done, let's get into pigeon pose. Right leg forward, please. I hope you have enough information to practice your headstand. As you can see, I mean, if you watch me doing it, it feels really light, it feels really safe, it feels like, it's not much work because it's not much work, but I respect the opening of the body, the strengthening of the body, and I'm not forcing myself to strike the pose right away just because I just want to do headstand badly. We are not doing that. Right? We have to respect our body and know what part of the body we need to work on first to get us there safe. I hope it makes sense. Carefully. You move your body up and away from the floor, and we are going to bend the back leg to stretch the hip flexors once again. So you come off the ground, maybe move forward just slightly, and might have to diagonal that front foot away from the front edge of the mat a little bit. That is going to make holding the back leg much easier. And then you square the hip, heel to the butt, root your tailbone down, and lift your heart high to the sky. And really pay attention to places. Hip flexor on the left and then the lower back. Right. You want your tailbone to root down and then your heart extending up to the sky. The more you stack the body, the more your lower back will talk to you. So you move backwards safely and slowly. And this is really intense. It's really intense. And carefully let go. Hand to the floor. Kick your right leg back and up, opening the hips, bend the knee. We are going to flip the dog, and you are going to lift your right arms off from the floor and start to turn your heart to the sky, and let your right hand land back behind the left leg. Okay. Your left leg straight, your right knee is bent. Push the floor away from you. Curve your back up toward the ceiling. I just realized my word is crooked. And you in, flip the dog. All wide things here. A strong pose here. And then carefully come away from that. Flip backward, right hand to the floor. Right leg step forward. Half moon pose. Transitioning your weight forward, get your left leg off the floor. Right hand diagonal to the right from the right foot, and then you turn your body open to the left. Keep your left leg that you lift moving forward slightly. Exhale slowly, you flow back down to the floor, bend your right knee, step your left leg back. Pivot to the left, and we do pigeon pose on the left side, please. I'm going to check my video quickly. Keep breathing. It just might eat a little bit. You breathe calmly within all this challenge to love yourself fully. The challenge to remember in each moment is your job to nurture your unique self, your talent, your strength. You lift your chest up and away from the floor. Once again, move forwards a little bit and make the ankle of that left leg really diagonal from the right foot. So you have to adjust accordingly. If you have the block underneath, your left hand will help keep you tight. If you're not, you can keep the hands on the floor, or if you're strong enough, you can hug the thighs in and walk your left hand up to your left thigh and get your right foot toward the hips. Yeah, yeah. It's really intense. Root your tailbone down. Lift your heart up. Keep your spine elongated at all times, please. And let it go, hands down. Kick your left leg back and up, opening the hips. I'm gonna shift my weight to the corner of the mat here and bend your left knee. And you're gonna get that left leg low and you turn your heart slowly, opening up to the sky. Your right leg is going to become straight, your left leg is knees bent. Your belly is gonna go up toward the sky. You push your weight back. You curve your heart, your back as much as you can. It is a really strong heart opening here. A strong back bend poses. Flip the dog. And when you exhale, you kind of move away from the foot to the hands. Flip toward the floor. Right. And then step your left leg forward. Transfer the weight toward your left foot. Have your left hand diagonal to the left. Get your right leg off the floor. Half moon pose. And slowly fold out toward the floor. Bend your left knee, step your right leg back, pivot to the right, facing the long side edge of the mat, and you are going to slowly do Pasarita Padottanasana from standing up and going to Upavista Konasana. So you slide your leg back, out and apart, out and apart. Now, if it doesn't work, get your knees in and together, and then sit down first, okay? And then you're opening your legs apart. Yeah. Upavista Konasana. And you go forward into the floor. Please remember, if any moment in this practice you go into the space to feel less than others, it's in your power to bring yourself away from that thoughts and say to yourself, I love myself. What it takes is times to be strong, to be open. The body will go there. Don't shut yourself down. Just use your mental to disrespect yourself and come up and away from the floor. So carefully get your legs in. Turn forward. Right leg extend, left leg cross over. Marichyasana 3. Marichyasana 3. And twist it to the left, please. We're almost done, everybody. I know it's going to extend and go a little bit longer because we spent too much time talking and explaining the headstand here. And inhale, untwist. Other side. And untwist. Both legs extend forward. Make sure you feel your sitting bone grounded to the floor. You can rotate your inner thigh in, back, and apart. Heels down, toes up, knee point up toward the ceiling. Paschimottanasana. And you relax and let go. Let go of those thoughts that diminish your beauty, diminish your strength, diminish your talent. Let go of those thoughts that everyone else and everything else are better, are younger, are wealthier than who you are. Inhale, come up and away from the floor. Take Shavasana, please. Legs up the wall. Put the knees on blocks. You can do Supta Baddha Konasana. You can lie down in your traditional Shavasana. You can put the block underneath the hip and extend the legs up to the sky. Allow a couple minutes here with me to really prep your minds to dive into that place of loving. Remember that your differences is not here to be diminished, to be pressed down, to be looked down. Your talents and strengths and your differences, it's your job to be here on earth each and every breath, to nurture, to love, to respect, to enhance. Because when they're strong, when they're shy, you're happy, you're healthy. And you will feel that urge to serve. So you bring this peace and loving and compassion from the inside out to others who need, who look for. My gratitude toward your desire to keep coming back and understand these wisdoms. Thank you for walk this journey strongly, consistently. And I will see you again next week. Have a peaceful Shavasana, everybody.